Okay, Christine, this is a question from a listener who is having some health issues,
Okay.
which, a lot of people know right now, right?
Mhm,
So the
mhm,
question is, how can they maintain a healthy ego when
mhm.
their body is failing, either through aging or illness? So how can they maintain that healthy ego? Because we have to have that, right? We have to have a
Yeah,
positive attitude and
yeah,
keep. So I'm going to let you respond to that. So how can they maintain that?
right. Well, I think that's a really great question. I think we can see like culturally where we struggle with ego as we age or as we navigate through illness. In the Western culture, we value, youth and we value, vitality. So as we get older or as we lose mobility or, flexibility and all those things, our culture basically is telling us we're less valuable because of that, right? So really work doing ego work as we age is even more so important because our value is intrinsically ours, right? We are good and valuable and worthy because we are. There's nothing we have to do, be, or achieve to validate that. So as we age, as we, lose mobility, as we have illnesses, the number one thing you can do is do your ego work. And ego work is always, to come back to true self. Know who you truly are as that person that was spoken to existence, right? When you came here from the creator, who were you and who are you still today? That is always who you have been. And ego work, regardless if you're 12 or 92, you should be working towards coming back to that self. So we all know people go, the American culture, midlife crisis, ego work, right? Those are people that are aging and are believing their value is tied to their youth. And it's not. It's there. It always has been and always will be your true self. And that in and of itself is good, worthy, and valuable.
Oh, that's so good. So how would you guide an internalizer who is going through a health issue as
Mhm.
opposed to an externalizer going through a health issue? Like, what would you see between those two?
So an internalizer would definitely be somebody who you may see navigating through life just fine, but as you start having conversations with them, they start saying things like, really, I feel like I need to go get this done, or I feel like I need to invest in this type of, education or this type of procedure for myself, or look at all these new lines I'm getting, you don't necessarily see them doing much. They're still moving through life being very self-sufficient. But as you start having conversations, you start hearing a lot of insecurity, right? And that would be how you would meet an internalizer. And what they really need to be doing is delving into the things that feel good to them, meaning, nature, creativity, sense of belonging with a community that has the same type of values as them, right? So really feeling supported by the things that feel good to them, right? But that would, an internalizer, you're going to hear in their conversations, right? An externalizer is going to be the one that we see goes and buys the Mazda Miata, and is zipping around, or you're seeing them doing a lot of the procedures to make themselves feel younger, or you're seeing them going and spending a ton of money because they don't feel good right now. They have chronic illness or something along the lines. You're going to see them doing things, right? And with them, you want to pull them back in, right? So you see the internalizers we pushed out to do the things that felt good to them, right? Externalizers we want to pull in and reiterate to them the things of the true self that we see and we know, right? We want to speak to them about their trueness, their specialness, their uniqueness, and help them reconnect to a sense of belonging. Both of those really need that sense of belonging, but belonging as their true self.